special guest in the basement tonight.
We do.
Mr. Keith Wheatley from Lost in Eden. Keith, how are you doing tonight, brother?
I'm recovering, man. I had hernia surgery a couple days ago, so I'm kind of laid up right now.
Oh, man, that kind of gets you off the stage and doesn't let you get up and play very much music for a little while, I would guess.
It didn't really allow you to do much of anything. It's been pain with meds and Mary Jane for me.
Oh. Well, you know, you got to do what you got to do, you know.
That's right.
So how is Lost in Eden doing, though?
Good, man. Good. We just put out a new single, Push, which I think you guys have been playing, and it's been getting received pretty decently, so we're excited about that. And we're getting in the studio again real soon to do some more work on this record, and working on putting together a handful of shows. Primarily the things we're most excited about is the USO stuff. We're working with I forget the person's name, man. Like I said, I'm on pain meds and stuff, so forgive me, but working with somebody trying to line out a series of shows where we're going to be touring all the bases, playing for the troops and stuff, so we're excited about that and the possibilities within that,
Well, it's always good to get out there and play for our veterans and enlisted personnel out there. That's always good stuff because they're out there keeping our freedom alive.
They really are, man. I don't think people realize the sacrifice those people make, man. Not only just them, but their families and stuff. And I don't know, man. I really respect those dudes and ladies a lot. I'm sure I couldn't do it.
Well, I served several years in the Army when I was a younger man, and I was in the 82nd Airborne. I jumped out of helicopters and jets and airplanes, and I loved every minute of it, to tell you the truth, but it was a lot of hard work, too.
I believe it was, man. I don't know if you know or not, but our drummer, Derek, he was in the Army for 12 years. He was a staff sergeant there whenever he left, and I think he did like 3 tours of duty over in Iraq and Afghanistan and stuff, and through him I met a lot of other people that I became close with who are military friends of mine now, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for those guys, man. One of them's named Scott. He's out there close to you guys. I forget the name of the base that's out there.
Fort Leonard Wood.
That's it. Yeah. Our good friend Scott, he's a drill sergeant out there now, and if he's listening, we'll say what's up to him. But one of the things that we was most excited about when we put out our album Black Balloon was we got a message. It was probably about a month after we put it out, and a whole platoon was rocking out to our song I'm Okay right before they went and did one of their missions, and that was like the last thing they was listening to. At least that's the way it was explained to us, and I thought that was just the most amazing thing,
That is cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are going out to do God only knows what. Some of them unfortunately maybe not have made it back, and the last thing they were jamming to was us, and I don't know, man. It really...
I'd feel honored.
Oh, I did. I still do. I'm still blown away by it. If I don't do nothing else the rest of my life, that right there is pretty fulfilling, I guess. That's the right word. I don't know.
Usually one of the songs that I would listen to before we'd go jump out of an airplane or jet would be Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, dude. Now that would put you in the mood, wouldn't it?
That would definitely. All right.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, let's get into some Lost in Eden music for our listeners right now. Let me ask you this, what really got you into playing the genre of music that you're into now, and what genre of music would you tell our listeners right now, what kind of music do you play in Lost in Eden?
As far as what got me, as far as like the style that I have, I guess is what you're asking me, I would say probably because I have a lot of different influences, man. Some are blues, some are country. There's some, metal influence and whatnot. So, I mean, my influences are across the board, I grew up in the 90s, so there was, I think a lot of it comes from that too.
definitely.
But as far as like, you know, if, like someone asks me, which, you know, sometimes I'll be out and about and I'll try to turn somebody on to the band or whatever, and they'll ask what kind of music it is, and I just tell them it's a little bit of everything. You know, it's blues, it's rock, it's really just a wide variety of rock and roll blended into one, including like punk. You know, I mean, you don't really hear that type of stuff on our Black Balloon album because primarily, I think the reason why is because the tools that we use to record that record, you know, were a lot of the same tools that people use on like pop records and stuff. So for that reason, I think it came out a little poppier than what we were really going for. But I think, you know, with this new record, people are going to see a lot of different things. You know, more blues for sure, and more punk and energetic rock and roll. You know.
Well, when you're talking blues and a little with mixed in with a little bit of punk, you're talking right up my alley, right there, brother. I love that stuff.
New faves right there, man. Blues and punk.
Well, this first song we're going to play. This first song we're going to play by you guys is called Politician Blues
No,
Number.
it's not. You're ahead of yourself.
Oh, man, I'm way ahead of myself. The first one we're going to play by you guys is called the...
About there, man, but that does sound like a cool tune.
Oh, it's
is.
going to be. No, I got ahead of myself. No, The Killer is the first tune we're going to play by you. Tell us a little bit about the song called The Killer.
That's funny. Derek talks about that as being like a modern day, like, Hey Joe. You know, you were talking about Jimi Hendrix earlier. I guess I could kind of see that because it's very similar. It's about a guy who basically just, you know, he kills his girl, you know, and there's a lot of reasons for it, I think. You know, I think mainly because of insecurities and you know, drugs and stuff, because the guy's definitely inebriated in the song. But, you know, I think the end of it, he figures out, you know, that it probably wasn't the best move, you know.
You think?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Well, you know, it's just kind of how it turned out. But I think it's a pretty cool little tune. And I was going to have a friend of mine who's in a local group here called the Bill. He used to do the song with me. And when I was telling him about the theme and stuff, he was like, wow, that's crazy, because he actually knows the guy who went through that. And I was like, damn. Yeah, to me, it's just a song. It's never, ever going to be a reality or anything like that. You know, it was just a song. And truthfully, it was inspired by other people, really.
The reason that I picked it out is because it's an acoustic tune.
It is, right now, yeah. Yeah, we're going to record that with, like, you know, drums and everything. And I'm going to have a cello on there, too. It's gonna,
All right.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool whenever I get it done. It's going to make it real creepy type of thing, or add a creepy thing to it, rather. But, yeah, I like that song, man. I'm glad you guys like it, too.
Oh, I do.
All right. Well, hang in there with us, Keith. We're going to play this tune and talk a little bit more. But if you just tuned in, you're listening to the Basement Tapes with Nick and Bootsy. We've got Keith Wheatley on the line with us from Louisville, Kentucky, with a band called Lost in Eden. And this is a tune that they do called The Killer. Check this out.
The soul of a woman, so they say, is created below, found down the hard way. That evil woman, she told me lies. The truth, it was hidden behind her eyes. shot her dead. She'll never lie to me again. No, never. No, never. No, never again. No, never. No, never. No, never again. Now that I'm sober, I have come down, seeing the error, it comes back around. Kill, 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 kill,
All right, that was Lost in Eden from out of Louisville, Kentucky. Mr. Keith Wheatley right there. A tune called The Killer. And Keith, you still with us?
Oh yeah, man.
We had a call from a listener out there said that they can't really hear you very good. Can you talk a little louder? Or
Yeah, we got you turned
turn
up as
your-
loud as we can
turn
turn you
your
up on
telephone
our
up?
board.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I can speak up. Sure.
Oh, there we go. Just speak up.
Better.
Yeah, just shout into your phone. How's that?
We don't mind.
Yeah, I can't do much shouting, man. It hurts still, but
Oh.
yeah. Yeah, you're good. But yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. That's all right. We understand. Going through what you just went through, it's a little tough, I'm sure. But so Lost in Eden, you guys I'm assuming you guys tour the Louisville, Kentucky area quite a bit. Do you get outside of Louisville a lot, or what do you guys do?
A lot, no. And honestly, lately we haven't really been doing much of anything. The past few months, it's been pretty slow motion. But that's just, circumstances that have caused that, I guess, But we're picking back up this fall, and we intend to stay busy through winter, so hopefully that'll make up for it a little bit, I know I'm getting itchy, man. I don't like not playing for too long.
Oh no, neither do Bootsy and I. We, actually Bootsy and I were musicians before we became DJs, so we enjoy getting out and playing in front of a crowd too.
Then you know exactly what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Whenever you're laid up like that and you can't get out in front of a crowd for a while, it just doesn't feel right,
It don't. It definitely don't. But we're real excited about getting in the studio and cutting some more music. And our reach has gotten a little bit bigger. We're now being played over in England and stuff, and we're excited about that. So we're hoping that things just because right now it seems, even though we're not really playing shows or anything, on the other hand, things are still happening and progressing, and we're thankful for that and excited to see where what doors are going to lead to where. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I don't know. Who knows?
Well, let's do another song by Lost in Eden. How's that sound?
Do it. Let's do it.
All right. This next one we're going to do is called Push. Tell us a little bit about that song. Did you write that one?
I sure did.
Good for you.
Yeah. I pat myself on the back. No, I'm just kidding, man.
Actually, you can pat yourself on the back.
I'll pat you on the back for it, man. It's a great song.
We've been pushing push at this station. We've played that several times.
I do. I'm thankful that you guys like it. I really am. But I have to be honest, that song did not come out like I was hoping. You know, like, I got to be honest from my standpoint, like, as an artist, I'm very disappointed with it, you know. But only because, you know, you never really know what you got until it's done, you know. And at the time, I thought that, you know, where things were going with that song, that it was going to turn out to be better than what it was. It's just, to me, it's just not, it didn't come, you know, it's just not that good of a song, you know. I don't think I did as good of a job on it as what I could have, basically.
That's the way I feel about all my songs.
Oh, I do too, but more so this one than any of the other ones, you know. 'Cause, I mean, you know, you never really feel like you're, well, I don't know about anybody else, but me, I don't never really feel like I'm 100% satisfied, you know. And it's hard to get to that point where you're like, okay, this is done, you know. But at some point you have to draw a line in the sand and say, okay, you know, we can sit here until the cows come home. This is just as good as it's going to get, you know. And for whatever reason, you know, it's just kind of what happened with this one. But I learned a lot from this tune in particular, and I'm excited to apply it to the next stuff. So,
you know, when you're sitting in the studio and you say, take number 149,
Right.
you're kidding. You know, well, maybe we just better leave it at that, you know.
Yeah, you know, maybe we should have used 112 instead of 149, you know. But, you know, you live and you learn. But, I mean, you know, that's one thing that I did like about this is we took a more traditional style approach to recording this song, you know.
Okay.
Everything was pretty much live, you know.
That's the best stuff, too, right there, live.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of take twos and take threes and all that stuff. It was just kind of just rush in and just do it, you know what I mean?
All right. Well, we got Keith Wheatley right here on the Basement Tape Show with Lost in Eden. And this is a tune that he wrote called Push. Check this out.
You keep on pushing me down. Take it all away. It's been too long. I found out the hard way that it don't take long. Until the
That was Lost in Eden. Mr. Keith Wheatley is with us here in the basement with Nick and Bootsy. And, man, that is definitely my favorite song of the week right there, Push.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that, man.
You bet. Are you able to talk up a little bit more, Keith?
How's this?
Just shout into that thing.
I think he's having a little bit of a hard time shouting right now.
I think so.
I am. It's about, yeah. Can you hear me now?
There,
Hey,
that's
we're fine. We're fine,
good,
Keith.
we're
We're
good.
having a little bit of an issue with people who are listening live right now. But, and this is a good time to remind everybody, if you're missing anything tonight, we will have the podcast for this show posted on the website tomorrow. Tuesday night, we'll be on the Indie Authority. Wednesday night, we will be on Granite Coast Roots and Blues. And Thursday, we just premiered this past Thursday on Power Zone Radio. So there are plenty of opportunities to catch the basement tapes if you're not getting everything that you want to get tonight.
That's right. That's 3 different internet radio stations we're playing the basement tapes on now.
Oh, and you can also hear the podcast on YouTube and on Spreaker. So, like, we're everywhere.
Hell yeah, spreading it around like herpes.
Absolutely.
That puts you all over the world, Keith.
It sure does, man.
That's
Sure
cool.
does.
Hey, right now it is 8 o'clock. Straight up and down, you're listening to KKID 92.9 FM, Salem, Rolla. You're tuned into the Basement Tape Show. We've got Keith Wheatley from Lost in Eden out of Louisville, Kentucky on the line with us right now. And we're going to do another tune by Lost in Eden here in just a second. And we want to ask Keith a little bit about that before we get into it. But first, Bootsy, do you have any other questions you'd like to ask Keith right now?
No, I wasn't going to ask Keith a question, but I've really been waiting for this next song to come up because several months ago, I think it might have even been last year, I was asking for, on our Facebook page, I was asking for bands to request songs from other bands. And there were 2 young ladies who both requested Lost in Eden, and they both requested this song. And even though they weren't from bands, the fact that I had 2 ask for the same band and the same song, I played it anyway. And I think
Well, I know how Justin Bieber feels.
really, and I really think that this particular song is a song that the ladies really like. I bet you know which song I'm talking about, don't you, Keith?
I'm going to go on a limb and say Skidamarinka-Dinka-Dink.
What?
No,
That's pretty close.
Is that way off base? I felt I was so on with that one. Damn it. Tonight.
There, you got it,
You
brother.
got it. This is a favorite of the ladies.
I'm glad. Yeah, that's one of my favorites too, honestly, that I've composed and whatnot. I've written probably hundreds of songs, but to be quite honest, that's probably one of my faves. I mean, it's a little bit more slower, and whatnot, but I like the construction of it, the way it's put together.
It's purty.
So what inspired you to write the song Tonight?
Wow. A number of things. At the time, it's funny because that song was actually a whole nother song. It had a whole different bridge and different chorus. And then, one day I was messing with it and unable to sleep, it was the middle of the night. It was probably like 4 in the morning or some shit. I'm just guessing, but, whatever. Anyways, I was playing the verse riff to that song, and I just kind of just let it happen, and those lyrics were supposed to meant to be just temporary. It was just so that I could, kind of just have something to play with melody-wise, but I ended up really liking it and ended up keeping it and stuff, so. And then once, brought it in with the band and everything, we kind of, with Derek and everything, assembled it to where it is now,
Well, hang with us here, Keith, mister. We're going to play this tune, and then we'll touch base with you one more time here. It's Lost in Eden from out of Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh boy.
Tonight is coming now.
changed. I met a girl. Can't remember but didn't I ever care? It's not what you get, it's what you kill. It's only now you live. I can't sleep tonight. I can't sleep tonight. You were on my mind. I can't sleep tonight. Do you believe in God? Do you believe in love? Do you feel the pain? What do you dream of? I can't sleep tonight. I can't sleep tonight. You were on my mind. I can't sleep tonight. Mistakes I've made, I'm seeing. Lessons I've learned, I'm feeling. It's not a dream I'm dreaming. Just let me go I can't sleep tonight. I can't sleep tonight. You were on my mind. You were on my mind. Can't sleep
All right, that's Lost in Eden, Mr. Keith Wheatley there. Quite the singer, songwriter, and arranger. Right there. Keith, it has been a blast having you on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me, and I appreciate you playing our music and supporting Lost in Eden. It really means a lot to us. I don't know if you just heard me or not. I felt like I was talking low, but I was just saying thank you.
We heard you.
And thanks to everybody that's been listening to us and visits our page and stuff. And I want to encourage people to go like us on Facebook and follow us on Spotify and share our music. Spread it around to people and help try to get it out there to other people.
Well, yeah, and we'll do our best to do our part here and play you guys all the time on the Basement Tape show too.
I really appreciate it, man. And when we come out that way, we hope to see you guys out at the show.
We definitely want to see you guys live in concert.
We sure do.
We'll be out there sometime. I'm going to say late fall probably, but mid to late fall. We'll be out that way. We're working on lining everything out now, so once everything is finalized, we'll let you know, and hope to see you out there.
You bet. Hey, just let us know if you need a place to crash too. We got a big basement. We'll throw you guys down in the basement.
Oh crap, that sounds fun.
It would be, believe me.
It's a little bit scary. I ain't gonna lie. That sounds a little bit scary, but I live on the edge. So.
How do you feel about spiders, Keith?
Oh, spiders I don't like. Not at all.
I don't either, man.
Not at all. They will make me scream like a little girl.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I seen one the other day, and I peed a little bit. I did. And, yeah, so...
Just a little leakage there.
It was a little bit of leakage, you know, but it's okay. I understand it happens to everybody, so...
That's right, especially a big spider hits you.
That's right, man. Shoot, I don't play with them things.
Oh, no.
Spiders or snakes, man. Anything else I'm cool with.
That's funny. Hey, okay, and of course you want to put a big shout out to the fans out there one more time, and tell them where they can find your music again.
We're on Spotify, iTunes. You can go check us out on Reverb Nation. Yeah, I tell you what, if you message us and letting us know that you heard us on this radio program, we'll hook you up with some free downloads. You know, so make sure to hit us up. And we appreciate everyone who does share our music. It means a lot to us. We work hard at it, and it does mean a lot. So,
all right, brother.
Thank you guys, and thank them as well. So.
Well, thank you, Keith, for being on the show, and we will definitely continue to promote Lost in Eden. Good stuff. Right
and we
there.
hope that you are feeling better and will get all well soon.
You and me both, and my lady is hoping for that too. She's tired of me being all laid up. So.
I bet so. All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah, thank you guys, and we'll see you soon, all right?
Tell the rest of the guys in the band we love them, and we look forward to seeing you guys live in concert soon.